Your life is coming to an end soon, right? Get the hell out of this house and hospice or something. This is our house now.
My husband looks like a demon.
Yes, it is. We're going to live her you, so be thankful. A sick person has a dedicated place.
So is his adulteress. If I were a really sick person, I might have jumped on both of them right then and there. Listen to me carefully. There is hell waiting for you guys.
Can you cook better food?
One day, Mark, my husband, suddenly complained about the food. We were about to turn 60 and had been married for 30 years. I thought we had gotten along reasonably well. I couldn't believe that he would con about such a thing now.
How long have you been a housewife? Did you make this soup from the stock?
There are good ready-made stocks conveniently available these days. I don't think the taste is all that different.
What kind of housewife would do that?
What's that?
He had never complained about my cock before. He was an old-school traditionalist who never really expressed his feelings. I had come to understand that if he all in silence, that meant it tasted. I couldn't fathom his sudden critic T33BM0. While I was stunned, he stood up ho. As I watched him with curiosity, he 3 key soup into the sink. 0.
What are you doing?
As you can see, I can't eat this sip.
He triumphantly waved the bowl in the air.
How dare you throw food? The kids are eating it just fine.
I feel sorry for them. You've made their taste buds weird. I can imagine how bad a housewife your daughter is going to be in the future if you are like this now.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? You're not the kind of person to say such horrible things.
I've always been like this. I've been putting up with you for 30 years. But now that I'm turning 60, I'm realizing what the point is. I should enjoy the rest of my life, so I'm going to do what I want. 33.
What are you talking about?
After saying what he wanted to say, out of the house. My children and I were stunned. He did not come home that night. Since then, he only uttered the words shower, dinner, and bed to me. No matter what I said, he either ignored me or replied coldly. I couldn't get a proper conversation. If I pressed him, he would be like,
Shut up. Don't tell me what to do. You should just shut up and be a good old housewife. And quit your meaningless job, too.
He yelled and grimaced at me. Seeing the devilish expression on him was horrified by the change in him. He used to be mild-mannered. What had happened to him? My question was easily answered one. It happened really out of the blue. One weekend, when Mark was away on a trip, I had a visitor. The doorbell rang repeatedly, and I answered it to see who was there. A young man was accompanying her.
Who are you?
You must be Mark's wife. You're the bitch who's torturing him.
Excuse me?
She must be an acquaintance of Mark, but I had never met her before. Why was I called a vulgar name by the stranger? I was searching for the right words to say to a young woman who must have been in her 20s.
I'm dating your husband. 3.
What?
I gasped at the unexpected declaration.
He wants to be with me as soon as possible, but he says he can't get a divorce. You're a burden to him, so get thee of his life. Pay him alimony out of this house. My son and I are moving in with him. Leave now, you bitch.
That is right. Get out!
The man who's supposedly her son, unison. While I was in shock, the two of the away.
What the hell just happened?
I muttered to myself. When I calmed down, it was easy to kite 33 the whole situation.
Oh, so that's what's been going on, Kitey 33.
The reason for Mark's sudden change, woman. Cheating, huh? It might have been too early to call it a golden age, but I guessed something like that. I remembered that he had been taking much care of his style. Judging from his behavior, he must very much into her. I wondered if he was planning to do it sooner or later. I didn't notice any indication from maybe he was thinking about it. I decided to seriously consider the possibility of the end of our marriage. I contemplated whether I should mention visiting or keep it under wraps and gather evidence of the affair. I kept dwelling on it when Mark unusually spoke to me.
That's the result of your medical, isn't it? Need for further examination. How pop?
You too, right?
Shut up.
He taunted me as he looked at my results, which I'd had placed in front of me. In fact, his diagnosis had also our other day, and it was written as Reese further examination. Even though it was due to our age, certainly a shameful result for us couple. I decided to put the matter of his hold and think it over later. First and foremost, I made an appointment for another test. Mark was reluctant to go through the process, but he must have been worried about his health, so he agreed to take the test with me. A few days after the test, I went to the hospital to get the results. He did not accompany me, saying to ask the doctor. When I entered the room, the doctor me with a serious look on his face. I had a bad feeling, which turned out to be true. I don't remember how I got home. I just remembered the past years flashing in front of me. My love for him had cooled off, but had some affection for him. The unexpected situation brought tears without my knowing it. How could I explain it to him and his children? I racked my brain, but I could not with a good idea. Mark came home late at night when I was sitting idle in the living room. I wondered if he had been with his again. He ignored me as usual, but I had to him.
Honey, I have something important, 33.
He must have sensed the seriousness voice. He sat down across from me, a little bewildered. I was at a loss as to how to start conversation, and he spoke up first.
What do you want to talk about? As long as you pay me alimony, I even you in a heartbeat.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
You already know, don't you? I'm your friend. Yes, I'm crazy about her. She's young, beautiful, and a great Kai-T3 Her son is a very nice young man. He calls me dad. I really regret marrying you. I should have gone for a more beautiful, good-natured, and modest woman who would have respected me.
He went on and on.
Well, forgive me for not looking like a crass woman who disrespects you.
You know yourself well.
Oh, come on. That was not the part should been impressed. I wanted to smack him.
I'm not thinking about divorce. 33.
Then what's it about?
At least, not yet. I have something more important too. The doctor said it's awful. Like a little year to live.
What?
His jaw dropped.
Listen to me calmly. The results of the tests are quite 6 months to live means that if left untreated, it will result in death within 6 months. The doctor said that with liberal treatment, it could be a few more years.
Seriously? That's hilarious. 3.
I could not continue with more details because he started laughing hard. He must have gone crazy from the shock. 6 months to live. Who could blame? I couldn't believe it either.
Even if there are no symptoms now, start to appear one after another. It needs to be treated sooner than...
That's enough talking. I understand what you are saying. I don't care about the treatment. I'm just going to pay for it.
Hey!
I was shocked to hear him say such thing. He was still smiling.
I guess you were going to say we should spend some quality time together for memory, weren't you?
I realized that he was right. I nodded in agreement.
You're right. 33.
No, thank you. I absolutely hate that idea.
I was about to continue, But he interrupted me again. Why was he acting so high?
I'll do whatever I want for the next 6 months, and I don't give a shit what you think.
He stood up.
Honey, I'm so sorry.
I'm leaving. 33.
Not just me, but the kids too.
They're grown up. My role as a father and husband is, even if it's only for another 6 months, I can't stand being without you.
He started packing his own belongings, his bag, leaving me astonished.
You're going to live with her?
I didn't think there was that much time left. What luck. It's a blessing from God.
Are you saying you're happy?
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad. I won't have to see your face again, will I? Nothing could be more joyous.
At that moment, a few remaining fees disappeared. How could I feel anything towards him, who hated me so much? I seriously considered a divorce, but there were only another 6 months left. I decided to be patient.
Well, see you at the funeral in his KT 33 bed.
He cheerfully walked out. 6 months were coming to an end in of an eye, and I hadn't heard once since he left. Then he suddenly appeared with his adulteress and her son in tow.
Oh my God, what's going on with you?
The man in front of me was different from Mark I remembered. He was emaciated, and his complexion was so pale that it was almost white. His face had lost its blood, and his were lifeless.
It's been a long time.
Even his voice had changed completely, becoming hoarse. It was as if he had aged 20 years. While I was astonished, he was smiling weakly.
It's about 6 months, isn't it? I thought you had already passed away. How long are you going to lie?
Excuse me?
I was puzzled by his incomprehensible question.
You look well, but your pickup is soon, right? We 11 be living here as soon as you.
What do you mean? We live here.
They're already working. I'll leave as soon as possible.
I'm still living here.
At that moment,
You know what?
the adulteress's son, pushed Mark Asic, stepped forward.
Your life will be over soon. It doesn't matter when you move out. Get the hell out of here and go to hospice. This is our house now.
The adulterers followed suit.
That's right. Our apartment contract already been terminated. If you don't get out by the end of today, we'll be in trouble. A sick person needs to get the hell here.
I really couldn't understand what they were all talking about. At that moment, Mark raised his bony pointed at me.
By the way, you look quite well. It's been 6 months since then. Why so glowing? I've been feeling sick all of a sudden lately, and I don't have much of an appetite.
I finally understood everything. He had been completely mistaken, like the last piece of a jigsaw puzzle falling into place. It fell into my hand with a thud. I couldn't contain myself and burst out laughing.
What are you talking about? I'm healthy, of course. I'm glowing.
The 3 people in front of me were surprised at my reaction. They must have thought I was bluffing when I started talking as freely as they were.
That's good for you. You're getting close to the end, and you're losing your mind, aren't you?
That's so true. I don't like fairy people. They become crazy. Get the hell out of here now. 33.
Hey, Mom, I want the biggest room.
That's fine. By the way, how much savings does ship cost?
Kids are already working, and PP is Katie 33 BM money. She was working too, so I think she Kai 30 lot.
So, can we take a trip every month?
Yes, we can.
They were getting excited, ignoring me. They selfishly misinterpreted the S and spoke whatever they wished. They needed to listen to me carefully. I was about to send them to hell. I confronted them with the truth.
I'm sorry, but I don't think we can ever travel together.
What the hell are you talking about? You've made a will. So that the kids everything, haven't you? That's too bad. We're still married. I have the right to claim my share estate. 33.
11, take those words right back at, I'm not the one who's dying. You're the one with 6 months to one.
Huh?
That was 6 months ago. You don't time left now. 33.
What do you mean?
A bombshell out of the blue described exactly the situation for him. His face turned paler than it could not possibly do. I told him exactly what the doctor me 6 months earlier.
I'm in perfect health, but there is more that can be done for you. You have about half a year to live. Even with life-prolonging treatment, they may only live a few years. The doctor wasn't sure if there was in treating you. 33.
No, that's not right.
I'm not lying. If you want, I can show you the results.
You never told me.
You left before I could tell you everything. I've been trying to contact you for 6 months, but you never responded. It's not my fault. 33.
No, that's not true. Not true at all.
Even though he didn't want to believe, he must have known what I was talking about. His thin body seemed to succumb to. They said he had 6 months, but I think he was probably in better condition. I would have thought that he had lost the ability to walk by then. His adulteress and her son pushed to their way and came forward again. Both of them looked to be in a panic.
What do you mean? What on earth are you talking about? 6 months to live.
So, it seems he had misunderstood his condition. I am healthy and will continue to run this house. The medical checkup 6 months ago, he had only 6 months to live. It's about time he becomes very ill.
They both turned pale at my words.
Are you kidding? You want us to go that shabby apartment again?
Mom, didn't the management say they found a new tenant? They want us out by the end of the right?
What should we do? I'll call the mechanic right away.
I don't think that's gonna make any difference. What are we going to do? Where are to live?
The confused adulteress turned to me Kaiti 33 BM.
This is not what you promised us.
I'm not sure what you mean by edit. Do you want me to correct any spelling or grammar mistakes in your original message?
The adulteress and her son were screaming in panic. Mark was in his own world, mumbling, muttering. It was chaos.
Well, now that everyone is on the same page, I'm going to ask you all to leave. You too, Mark.
Was about to close the door. Then I saw Mark jerk his body as if come back to himself. Ignoring him, I closed it shut and heard his pitiful voice along with on the door.
Open up. What am I supposed to do? If I start the treatment now, we'll live. Hey, I can't breathe. My head. Oh, shit. I thought it was just a cat. I didn't think it was.
I thought about calling an ambulance. There were no feelings for him left, but it was the least I could do as a human being.
Hey, let me in and take care of me. You're my wife. It's your job to take care of me. When I heard his unexpectedly energetic voice, my concerns flew out the window.
Are you forgetting something important?
I asked through the door.
What?
Answered him coldly.
The house is in my name. Did you forget that my parents gave me?
What is it?
Oh, come on, he seriously forgot.
And you mentioned that you were my husband when you left home. You said your real father and a husband was over. I will not support you as I am not. Please leave.
Oh, no. Wait. Let me in. Help me.
Hey, what about us?
The three of them were screaming for behind the door. They were taken away by the police, who arrived at the scene after neighbors reported the incident. Then, Mark and I filed for divorce. We had been married for 30 years. I had wanted to send him off as the end. My mind changed the moment he came back, expecting me to cross the bridge. I was surprised at how easy it was to decide on a divorce. It was an abrupt ending, as if our 36 were all dreams. Mark cried and begged me to stay with him. But I felt like he was a stranger to me. The adulteress and her son were frightened. Turn of events, and all he who was fading away. They can only afford to live in a shabby one-bedroom apartment now. Her son refuses to work even though grown man. They're supposedly living a hard lit together. I could have sued her for alienation of affection, but I decided not to. It would have been too much trouble. I don't think she would pay me properly anyway. I assume that she and her son will never have a peaceful life unless they are reborn. So I move on. I don't know Mark's current situation. Even if he started the treatment now, it would be a drop in the ocean. He could have been admitted into House Kaidi 33 BM care. I got a call from him once saying he was staying with his uncle for the time, but the uncle's family apparently wasn't happy about it. Then I stopped hearing from him. I haven't heard the news of his passing. My kids left the house and started families. I'm living a happy life surrounded grandchildren, but who knows when go me? I want to be the kind of person who missed by friends and family. I want to end my life with them. See off. I doze off to such thoughts as I lie the porch in the warm sun.